Yes, Thomas here from Agile Ventures / Craft Academy, what have you. I will be doing some coding on a feature in the SHF project, which is a part of Agile Ventures. So let's dive straight into it. Let me go to my screen share to start with. There we go. And okay, so for those of you who are new to this, this is the SHF project web page on Agile Ventures. This is the SHF project repository on Agile Ventures. It's been forked from Susanna's repo. Susanna is actually an ex-student of mine at Craft Academy, and this is her first open source project that she runs on her own within the framework of Agile Ventures. So let's see. The client here is a nationwide organization in Sweden for ethical dog associates, people running business that train dogs in a specific way. And it's called Swedish Dog Industry Association. And there should be like a link somewhere to their current website, but I cannot find it, so never mind. Anyway, I'm new to this project. We can see here in the project description what it's all about. There is on the project page on Agile Ventures, there's a link to the GitHub repository, and there's also a link to Pivotal Tracker, the SHF project on Pivotal Tracker. And I have it open here, and here you guys are probably already familiar with Pivotal Tracker, but we have 3 columns. One that is called current, we have a backlog, and we have an icebox. And icebox is like the kitchen sink. You just throw stuff in there, and there's a whole process of describing a feature request or a chore. It somehow, in terms of complexity, adding some tasks, and then when a developer starts on a feature, it is moved to the current column. And I am in the wrong project, of course. Sorry about that. Now I switch to the SHF project. Sorry. It's the same thing here, basically. So what we have is a feature here. Let me just turn the icebox view. Oh, sorry. Oh, like this. And I can make this a little bigger, perhaps, so you guys can see while watching the recording. If I just managed to do this properly. Yes. So this is the feature I will be working on. The SHF project is a membership management platform. To start with, there will be other features, but for the moment we're working on an epic where we will be setting up membership of applications, and admin can come in and approve those applications or reject them, etc. This story is very scoped down. What I want to achieve now is just to allow a visitor to the website to fill out the membership application. And the story goes that as a visitor, in order to get a membership with the SHF, I need to be able to submit a membership application. And we want to have an application view, an application model, probably, because we want to store them in a database. And we want to have a possibility to create that application, basically. And since we are working in a MVC model view controller pattern, so the model is where our connection to the database. In Rails, we are using Active Record as an ORM. There is a controller with certain actions. We're going to create a new and create action, and we need to have a presentation layer, which is, of course, the view, and that's what we're going to do. So there are some comments here that are good guidelines for me as a developer, what the minimum information needed to create an application is, etc., etc. Before we start doing anything, this is like very crucial for us to go over. in terms of what to do. So I'm going to keep this open, and but the first thing I want to do is to go over to the main repository, and this is something that all developers need to do before they start working on this project. We want to fork this repo, and I'm going to fork this to my own private GitHub account. So here we go, and there it is. And the next step is, of course, that I want to clone this down to my own computer. So here I am in my terminal window. I'm going to cd into the Agile Ventures folder that I have, and I'm just going to clone the repository down to my computer, and that will create a folder for me called SHF Project. Good. I already have my Postgres database set up. Well, the local Postgres server up and running, which makes it possible for me to cd into this folder and run bundle install, right? In order to get all the dependencies that are file downloaded to my computer, and I'm getting a version that I have an older bundler installed, which is something that I probably would like to fix. And we got an error occurred while installing Rack 2.0.1, and that is because I am using the wrong version of Ruby. So I'm just going to go ahead and, well, actually, before I change this, I want to just check the gem file and see what version of Ruby is specified here. It is not specified, which makes it possible for me to use the latest one I have installed. It's 2.3.1. So that's what I'm going to do. And now I'm going to run bundle install again. And hopefully this time everything's going to be cool. All right. There we go. Okay, so everything is installed. I'm going to open this this project in my RubyMine, which is my IDE of choice that I'm using. And while this is opening, I'm just going to do Rails db create, which creates the database, which is also, of course, configured in the database config file, I think, somewhere. Just see. And that creates the development and test database. I'm just going to do Rails db migrate. And for the sake of it, I might want to do rake db test prepare. db test prepare. First things I usually do when I clone down a new project is to see if there are any tests configured. So I'm just going to do run rake. And that usually runs whatever testing frameworks are configured. And I see that there is RSpec with 0 examples. And let's see if there is if Cucumbers is set up. It is, but there are no scenarios. Good stuff. So let's have a look at this project in our IDE. There's a spec folder, there's a features folder. Let's have a look at the features. Ta-ta. Okay, so let's start with a little spring cleaning. Just remove some stuff. Not necessary to keep those comments around. Ta-da-da. There we go. And I am not a big fan of double quotes. So if possible, I just want to get rid of them. Okay, very basic thing. Let's have a look in this step definitions folder. There's nothing there at the moment. We have a look at the Rails helper. Not much here to talk about at the moment. And in the spec helper, we also don't have much to start with. Okay, so I'm just gonna do git status. All right. Oh, before I do anything else, I've made some changes, but that's okay. Before I do anything else, this is extremely important, and I am ashamed that I actually missed that. What I want to do is to create a new branch, and I can do that by saying git checkout -b and give it a name. So we're creating a feature branch, and what is it that we're gonna do here? We're gonna create, okay, so a new application. That's what I'm gonna call it, new application. The name of the branch will be new application, and I have those changes that I made on the develop branch are automatically following into the new branch, which is good. And I want to do a git commit am some cleaning in env.rb and rails helper.rb. Nothing fancy. I'm just gonna commit those files, and I'm also gonna push this up to my origin new application branch, which is good. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna create a new file in the features folder, and I'm gonna call it create membership application feature. Create membership application feature like this. Git add that into my version control and jump over to my IDE and start working on that feature. So one of the first thing I always do is to copy the user story from Pivotal Tracker into this, and I also do this, that is I link to the Pivotal Tracker story or feature. And in Pivotal Tracker, we can always click this little link button and paste this in here. Good stuff. All right. So let's see, we want to create a new scenario. So visitor can submit a new membership application. Visitor can submit. Okay, so I will try to drive this through my acceptance tests. When I hit the wall and there's actually a need for storing some information in the database, I will create my models, get them unit tested, and then back to my acceptance test and see if we can get everything to pass, basically. But since there is this is the first feature developed for this project, there are no step definitions defined, there are no specs yet, etc. So let's see if we can make this work. All right, so let's say that we want to visit the application. That's the first step. So given I am on the landing page, for instance, and I click on let's call it apply for membership, and I click on apply for membership, and I fill in, what do I need to fill in? Company name, company name with, let's say, Craft Academy, and I fill in what? Okay, so this is a Swedish thing, but I'm going to call this company number for now, with let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the format in which Swedish companies are identified. So there are six digits, and then a dash, and then another 4 digits. Okay, and I fill in what else? I fill in contact person name. Okay, let's go for that. Contact person with Thomas. And what else? Is that like a company email? I don't know. Let's try that. And I fill in company email with, for instance, info@craft.se. This is not my domain name. It's actually called craftacademy.se, but this is just for testing purposes. No emails will be sent. And there is a field for phone number, which is optional, but let's say that we actually fill in that, and I fill in phone number with 031 123 4 5 6 and 7, which is also, so this is the formatting of phone numbers in Gothenburg, where I live. And I click create or submit. Then what should happen? Then I should be on the landing page again, perhaps. The landing page, and I should see thank you, your application has been submitted. Okay, something like that. With the information we have available at the moment, this is what we should aim for. I visit the application, I click on the apply for membership link, I fill in the company name with some info, the company number, contact person, company email. Let's give it a capital E, and phone number, like this, and I click on submit, and I should be on the landing page again. So I'm rerouted back to the page where I came from, and I should see thank you, your application has been submitted. Good stuff. So what will happen now is that if I run Cucumber at this point, that will of course fail because we haven't created those step definitions. But in the true BDD manner, or TDD manner, I want to run those scenarios just to see them fail, because that's the way we do it. And fair enough, we got a lot of failures. So what I will do, so it's time for me to create those step definitions. So I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to, in RubyMine, I can always select a menu that pops up and create a step definitions from here. So the first step that I'm working with is given I'm on the landing page. So I'm going to store that in a file called navig steps. So after a while in a project, there's always a lot of step definitions, and if you have them all stored in one single file, it's very hard to overview them and find them, etc., etc. So I usually try to split them out in different files and give those files names that kind of describe what they're all about. So I'm going to navigate to the landing page, so I'm going to create them in a file called navigation steps. So this is what I'm going to do. And what RubyMine does for us is that it creates the step definition, but it's empty, so it's up to me to tell the testing framework what to do. And we're going to use Capybara for testing this application, hopefully. So we're going to use some Capybara commands, and I will eventually refactor quite a few of these steps, but for now that's going to do. So I'm going to just tell Cucumber to visit something called root path, and root path is usually the landing page, basically, the / both. So I could easily have done something like this, but I prefer to use those helpers, so that's what I'm going to do. I also hear that I have somebody with me, which is great. Who is here? Susanna is here. All right, good stuff. I'm just going to talk away a little bit here because just getting started, if that's all right. So as you can see, this grayed out thingy disappeared. So I'm gonna go ahead and create more steps here, basically. So what I want to do here is to create a new file, which we're gonna call like basic steps. This goes, clicking on links, filling in forms, and clicking on buttons are fairly basic, fairly generic steps. So we're just gonna call them basic steps. Could be rephrased at some point probably, but that's what I'm gonna go for. And so again, RubyMine creates this regex for us, and I can just continue working with them. It's pending. I need to add some commands to tell Cucumber what to actually do. So I want to click on what link probably, and I'm just going to say click link or button. Actually, I'm not going to call it link. I'm going to call it element. And element. So this is what I'm telling Cucumber to do. This is a little bit of poetry mode. I could easily do something like this, which is more, programmatic or whatever. But I if I can omit some parentheses, I usually try to do that. It's easier to follow that. So that's what I'm going to do. And the next step is going to be that I want to fill in some stuff. So there you are. Create step definition in basic steps and fill in a field with a value, right? So as you see, this whatever is in those double quotes is going to be recognized by regex and stored in this variable called field, and the second one is stored in value, which means that I can do something like this: fill in field comma with, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's right. Okay, so now if we go back, we see that this changes color. So the stuff that are in double quotes are colored blue, and company name will be the name of the field, and Craft Academy needs to be the value, and so on, right? And then I want to click on submit. So let's just reuse the previous step that we already have. And then here comes the assertion. You know, everything we've done up until now is like staging the test, right? We go to the landing page, we click on a link, we fill in a form, and then when we click submit, something is supposed to happen. Here comes the testing part of this scenario, right? We should be redirected back to the landing page, and then we should see something, right? Like in this case, thank you, your application has been submitted. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new step definition file, and I'm going to call it assertion steps. Assertion steps. If I even spell it right, I don't know. So here comes an expectation, an assertion. So we're going to do this. I'm going to use expect. What is it? Current path? I think so. Current path to equal root path. Current path is current path. I think so. Let's try that. If not, we're gonna get some errors when we run this. And the second one, if I create this step definition in the assertion steps, we're just gonna say expect page to have content. Oops, sorry. To have content, and we can use arg, but we don't want to use that, so we're going to rename this to content and just call it content, something like this, to have content. All right, who knows, it might work. Let's run it and see. So features, and we called it create membership application feature, and let's run that scenario and see where we get. And we wait. And it's like watching close drive. So given I'm on the landing page passed, there is a root path already configured in the system, and I click on apply for membership, and Capybara tells us that it's unable to find a link or button apply for membership. So let's just see if we can fix that step. And this is what it's all about. What I will do now is just step-by-step fix problems that will block me from making this test go red. And eventually, at the end of the process, this scenario should pass. And when it passes, we are actually have been able to create or submit an application or membership application or whatever we're going to call it. Okay, so let's have a look at the way the view look like. What do we have? We have an application layout, and we have what? We have some partials, and we have layouts, and there's an index, HTML HAML, Android demonstrates photography, blah, blah, blah. Not interesting. Bottom, top. Let's go to top. What do we have here? There's an href here to scroll to top, blah, 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 nav side, navigation, bar one, link to him. Oh, okay, here we go. Let's see. There is no, or is it? Where am I? Oh, sorry. Hey, Raul, how's it going?
Hello.
Let's see. We have no guidance as to where to put the link to submit new application. So, Susanna, where do you think we should put that link? No idea?
I'm back.
Okay, so I'm thinking about where to put a link to, apply for membership.
I was gonna say where I put the login link, but I guess you can check that closed PR where I put the login link.
I have no clue where that is. Do you? But where did you put that?
I can check it.
Yes. So I'm just gonna put it here for now and change it when you are done. So we're using Haml in this one. So there is a page item class and page item 2 for some reason. No, I don't know what that means, but it doesn't matter. We can see what it is. So equals link to apply for membership. It's in Swedish. I have no clue, but call it like new membership. Path, for instance. I don't know. Yes, you were saying.
I haven't found it yet. Sorry.
Okay, but do you have any idea where do you put it, or?
Yes, in the menu in the top.
Okay, so that's
here we go. Under
okay.
No. I did a partial called login items, which I put after the social icons before the site logo.
Okay, so all right. So I can't. Do you have any low files?
Line 39.
Line 39. Okay.
Above line 39.
Above line 39.
Yes, that's where I put the login link, but the apply for membership link can be there. It's fine.
Okay, so we have social logos here. So I'm just going to leave it here for now, and we'll see where we are.
It's fine.
Okay. All right. So now we don't have routes. We don't have any routes for applying for new membership. So that's what it's going to be a little bit problematic, I guess.
I'll be right back. I have to eat.
Sure.
Or get food.
There is only one route path. So let's do something like this. Members, yes. So I'm going to use a generator. So I'm a little ambiguous here, because what I usually do is that I create those routes first. So let's and then we use a generator to scaffold a controller. But that generator actually adds routes. So I don't know what's the best course of action here, but let's do this. Let's go to routes, and we're going to do something like this: resources, memberships, and say only what? Only new? No, only create, right? No, new, and create. Yes. Membership only, yes. So if I do raise routes now, I should have new routes for that. Hubba. Yes. So it's called new membership path. It's a get request to the new action in a memberships controller and post to memberships. All right, that should work. Let's see. New membership path. That's what I used. Yes, it is. Okay, so if I run my scenario now, this should complain that there is no memberships controller, I assume. Let's have a look. It should find a link, and it should complain about the lack of a controller. And it does, and there is no memberships controller. Good stuff. So I'm just going to do Rails generate controller. Memberships, and I'm going to have a new action and create action. on it. I could write all of this by myself, but using generators is smart, I would say, but not too smart, I see. Weird. Now, for the untrained eye, this is a-okay, but for me, it is not, because I see that it actually invokes ERB and creates ERB files for me, which is strange because we are using Haml in this project. So I'm just going to destroy this again, and it's done by saying Rails destroy controller memberships. And that should just remove everything. Good. And now we need to figure out why isn't Haml being the default generator. Let's have let's do some Googling. Haml Rails. Yes, here's the deal. So what I would prefer, just to keep stuff simple, is to switch the Haml gem to Haml Rails, and that should fix our problems without us having to reconfigure anything. Should we try that? Yes, why not? So let's do bundle again. And if I rerun that generator, if this worked, we should get Haml templates instead of ERB templates. Voila, it worked. Good stuff. We're just gonna git add everything, and then we just do a git commit creates step definition files, scaffolds, well, adds memberships controller. And what else have we done? Adds membership templates for what? For new. New and create. Oh, that's weird. By the way, now, okay, so I'm gonna add this now. It's a little too late to abort this, but why would this create a template for me for the create template? I don't need that. I just need the new template.
But you said it should create.
Yeah, I was just hoping that this would just, in the generator, that this will only create the create method and not the view. But clearly, I wasn't. The create method is a post route.
Yeah, I know. But
yeah, never mind. I can just delete that. But so now I know. You just want to create. When you use the generator, you just want to name the get. I mean the views that you want, and not the methods.
I mean, look. It also created the route get.
I know. I'm gonna clean that up now. That was exactly what I was talking about before. These generators are not foolproof, but they're good to have. Let's have a look at what it actually created for me. I should have probably cleaned this up before I made a commit, but now
you can clean it up and git amend.
I know, but it's okay. It's good that people see that I'm making mistakes. No problemos. So this one is not necessary. I'm just going to delete this. And the controller is here, and it has the new and create method. Cool. And the routes where's the routes file? Here it is. And yes, so I created those routes manually, but the damn generator adds this, so this needs to go. Basically, this needs to go. Okay, let's have a look what happens when I run the feature. It should not complain about the thing, the lack of the controller, but it should rather complain that there are no form on the. Actually, it cannot find any fields to fill in because we haven't added anything to that template yet. So we have 2 green steps. That's good. And I fill in company name with Craft Academy, and I'm unable to find field company name. Good stuff. Good stuff. So let's go,
guys. Yeah,
sure.
Good night. Ciao.
Did you merge that other stuff for me?
I switched to coveralls, so if you merge that, I can merge yours after that.
Good stuff. All right. All right. Take it easy, brother.
Cool.
Okay. So let's see. We are on where? Why would this be created in? I must have done something very weird here now. Oh, sorry. Memberships. There we go. And then we're just going to move this over. There we go. Okay. So I will not deal too much with CSS at this point, but rather focus on functionality. And hopefully you, Susanna, can take care of the styling later on once we have that functionality in place. So I'm just going to add a form 4. It's going to be a form for a membership. And I'm going to do and then F, and now is form 4, is that, do I need to have a double? Let's see, let's check the documentation. It's been a while. Form 4 API, form helper. Form 4 is with this. Yes, okay. So I'm just going to do F label. Is that label for no label? And what is going to, so company name, and then we're going to do F text field company name. Yes. 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 New membership application, for instance. Okay, so now we have a form for membership, and we have a label of company name and a field where we should enter a company name. Just to make this will fail for me because it will say that there is no an instance variable saying membership. So I need to bypass that somewhere. It cannot be nil. So what I'm going to do in the memberships controller for the time being, before we actually have a class of memberships, I'm just going to do membership equals an empty hash and see if that helps us. Or if not, I will have to create that class already. And undefined method model name. Yes, so it's not going to fly. So what I need to do at this point is to say that the membership is a membership application because .new. That's what we kind of agreed, or I don't know, but this is the terminology used in the user story. So I'm just going to name the class membership application and see what's going on. This means that if I run this now, this will complain that there is no membership application model in the system, and meaning that we are gonna we're gonna have to abandon Cucumber for a minute or two and go down to what? To RSpec and test drive the development of the membership application class. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use another generator and make sure that we generate that model. So we want to generate a model called membership application, and now we have several options here, but here actually we have a company name, and that's going to be a string. We have a company number, and that's going to be a string. And we have a contact person. Sorry, person, and it's going to be also a string. And the contact person is a sketchy, or this is a bit of a slippery slope, because most probably later on we will refactor this and remove that attribute, and instead we will have an association with whoever creates this membership application. But for now, we're just going to store this as a value in the database, and that's the beauty of Active Record, that you can add and remove columns and refactor stuff pretty easily. So that's going to be a no-brainer. Anyways, we want to have a phone number, and that will also be a string, and we want to have a company email, and that's also going to be a string. Okay, so what this generator does for us, it creates the model, and it creates a factory if factory girl is set up.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
Why do you make the company number a string and not like a medium-sized integer?
I never usually store phone numbers as integers, because we want to format them differently and have format match. But it's absolutely sure, we can try that.
It was the company number I was thinking about, because that's only going to be digits. But I was just wondering why it was a string and not an integer.
Let's have a yeah. We can definitely
be an integer of a different size.
So let's see, there active record integer with what? With medium size, or what do you say?
Limit 8.
So okay, let's okay. So active record store ID number store long IDs as integer. What do they think of it? How to use long ID in Rails applications? Integer limit 8. Yes.
I sent you a Slack message. Because when I started it with only integer, it was limit 4, and then it was too few digits. So it had to be limit 8. That's
so you mean the Swedish identification number? It's at least 10 numbers. You know.
yes.
Yeah.
But the only question was why use a string and not an integer, since it's only numbers and no letters.
Well, it's not entirely true, because, like, you know, oh, we can have a look at the acceptance test. In our little acceptance test, we use this, my friend. This is the identification number, you know. So there is actually an input mask on it. But yes, I totally see that. We can store that as like this, you know.
Yeah, it's. I guess it's the same. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Well, you know that usually you put that dash into when you type down your
I never have.
Okay.
But okay. As
Good.
long as maybe if it's a string, then both work, and then we do something with it before we check if it's a legal number or whatever. Yeah. It's all good. I was just curious.
Yeah. I can store it as an integer. I don't see any problem with that. So let's do that. I have no objections to that. Let's do that. Integer. Okay. So
but then it has to be the size 8 or limit 8.
I will add that. I will add that. Well, it's actually 10. It's not 8. Yeah. All right.
Okay. No, it's bits. It's not numbers. It's bits. 4 bits, 8 bits. I learned that.
All right. Let's have a look at that. So now we have a new migration. We have a model, and we have specs for it, and that's good. All right, so let's have a look at that. Let's go to the migration first, and create membership, membership, and there we go, limit 8, you say, right? Is that right? Hello?
Told me.
I didn't hear anything you said. Once again? Okay. So is limit 8 what we want here, or? Okay, I'm gonna assume that it's limit 8. Okay. Your sound died. I got it. No problemos. Thank you. So that looks good. Phone number, string, blah, 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 blah. We don't have to put any constraints on that at the moment. We could have a look at the spec too. So it creates an empty spec for us. So we're just gonna write some specs for this model, and I'm gonna nest them in various describe blocks. So I'm gonna do describe the factory. So let's see if we can test the factory. So I'm gonna do application equals factory girl dot create application Oh, membership application is it, of course. Membership application. Is that the factory? Let's have a look. Membership application, yes. And expect, what do we want to expect here? We want to expect the application to be valid, right? Or something like that, I think. Is this correct? I think it is. So we're just gonna try to run those specs, and our spec, yeah, specification text. What is this? Specification text. Okay. All right. That messes up my flow here a little bit. Models, membership application spec. Okay, so we should probably run this one. But before we do, let me just have a quick look on the expectation. So we should actually not store that in a variable, but rather have it here and run this now instead. Do-do-do. Damn, my computer is slow today. I should probably reboot it from time to time. And that didn't work because we have not run migrations in the test environment. So let's do that. And run the spec again. And it still doesn't work. Let's see. Of course, Damas as a valid factory. To do X. Sorry about that. Getting a little bit tired probably, or old or something, and that worked at the moment because we don't have validations yet. So the next thing we want to do is to describe what we want to describe. We want to describe the database table, the table, DB table, and let's say something like this. Do we have should amateurs set up? Rails helper, should amateurs. Yes, we do. Good stuff. Then we can do something like it is expected to have DB volume. And what do we want to have? We want to have an ID. We want to have an ID. And we want to, what else do we want to have? Well, what was company name, right? What? So we can just copy this. Name. Was it more? We had some, what was it? Company number. And we had contact person. And what else did we have? Phone number and company email. Phone number, email. Right. Let's have a look on that. Company name. We don't have a company name. Why don't we have a company name? What do we have? Did I misspell something? I potentially misspelled something. Company. Oh, it's so. Okay, so here's the problem. So if you do something wrong in the migration, that's a bit of a problem. If you have already committed your stuff and things like that, or if you're working toward a database that is live or something. But I just created this, so I can probably just do something like this. I've made a change in my migration, which means that I need to I have to drop the database, just remove the entire database, and remigrate some stuff, recreate it and remigrate, because otherwise I will get a lot of problems. So I'm going to do Rails DB create all. Is probably redundant, and Rails DB setup that runs the migrations and any seeds. No, that's good. And so just to rake DB test prepare. Okay, so now I can do run this back again, and hopefully that kind of fixed my problem. It did not. Why didn't it fix my problem? Because it's still okay. So I need to remove the schema. So this is the reason why you shouldn't be doing this, basically, because it's a little bit of a problem. Let's do the rake DB setup again. And now I need to run migrate. Anyway, okay, let's have a look at the schema now. And it still says company name. What the hell? Okay, so here we go. We delete this. We drop the database again. So kids, do not do this at home. What you should do, first of all, don't make any typos. Second of all, if you do typos, basically just change the name of that faulty column using a new migration instead. That's what migrations are for. You shouldn't be doing this, but that's the way it works. So let's have a look at the schema now. And now it says company name. Thank you very much for that. Hooah. And we're just going to do test prepare. Which some people says you don't have to do anymore, but I prefer to do it actually, because otherwise I get all weird, I have to run this migrations in test environment. So this fixes it for me or not. That was in the factory girl, of course, because it says company here. So we just want to change that to company. And so this first test was failing for us. That is working now, hopefully. And now everything is okay. So these are what tests are for, folks. Good stuff. So git add everything, git CI/am, and what is it that we add? Adds a membership model with specs. Boom. Meaning that we have what we came for. However, what we have is to have a limit on this company number, right? Because we don't want this to be just one digit number. So we want to add a validation that the code is actually 8 digits long, I would say. So we're just gonna do something like this. Oh, we can stay here. We go to the model specs, and we're just gonna create a new describe block. Describe block, and we're just gonna test for validations, and we just want to use a matcher saying it is expected to validate length of what was it? What it was, company number, and we want to say that is equal to equal to 4. No, 10. This is the length, so it's not bytes or anything. This is the actual length of the number, meaning that our first test will fail because the factory, I want to show you why it's going to fail. You see that the factory has only 1 digit number. I want to see it fail, because if it doesn't fail, well, first of all, we don't have a validation, right? To be invalid, but it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, this should be invalid, and it was valid instead. So that's not working for us, which means that we need to add this validation in our model first. And let me just add that. So small. And we say validates length of company number, and we want to make sure that that is 10 digits. So let's see. The factory should fail for us. Yes, it does. Company number is just wrong length. Yes, so we have a failing factory, and that this is okay. So let's fix the factory first, and let's deal with the next one later. So we go here and we say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 numbers, and run that. Or let's just run Yeah, let's have that. And so this passes now and should validate that length of company number is 10. Did not properly validate that the length of company is 10 after setting company 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which was read back as 0. The matcher expected the membership application to be valid, but it was invalid. Instead of producing this company is the wrong length, should be 10 characters. To be changing certain values as they are set, and this could have something to do with why this is the writer method for this attribute and it needs to change. So the problem that I see is this limit here. I'm just going to comment this out.
No, wait.
Yes, talk to me.
Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I didn't think it worked. I have a similar test, how to test it in the way that it wants to be tested when it doesn't work.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm just going to find it here. So you do the you use factory girl, but you use a real number. Like the test is setting it to letters, but letters doesn't work.
The test is setting it to letters. What? How do you mean?
XXXXX are letters.
Okay.
And it wants a number.
Okay, so how should the matchers do that?
How should a matcher? But like you can do expect factory girl build and then add the information.
Okay, I know, but I want to use should matchers. Let's have a look at that then. So, okay. But I totally I see that. So we want to avoid doing this, but we can do it if this will not fly, basically. All right.
Okay.
It's a good suggestion. Let's have yes. Let's have a look. What do I want to do? Let's try this first. No. Should the matchers. Yeah. Let's see. Ensure length of measurements. It has a numeric field. Then you shouldn't be an integer. Length of secret. Yeah, use the gains. The given length cannot take a string with case be short. The secret key must be less than. Oh, here it is. Validate. Here it is. Validate numerous matches test usage of the validation. GPA. No, should validate an A. No, that's not it. That's not it. Is less than. Length of cars. Here it is. It should validate numericity of number of cars is less than. But what is the is less than? No, that's not it. Okay, so this is not the length, but rather No, that's not what I was hoping for. Validate length of match. Let's see. Password is a minute on create. Should I length of password please? Length of yes at least. Okay, no, that's right. Okay, so let's have a look at that matcher, and we're just gonna see it. So we're just gonna remove that, and what we want to do is okay, so did you have a resource for that, or where did you find that test? Susanna?
Well, it basically tells you in the terminal.
Okay, it doesn't tell me, so I don't understand what.
In your terminal, there is an error message, and that in the last paragraph of that error message,
I totally see that. What I was asking for is if you've have you seen this tested somewhere? I would like to see the examine the test. You know.
I found something else though. Validates length of is intended to check only string attributes. That's why it doesn't work.
Okay, yes, but we're past that at the moment. But yes, length of testing password.
So you could do.
Type check. Yes. Okay, I think I used something like that. Let's see. Craft Academy. What was it? Was it workshop? I think I had something in. Where was that spec? Certificate spec, course spec, certificate spec.
So here is our answer why we use string instead of integers.
Yeah.
Because strings are easier to test with shoulda matchers.
No, that's not the reason, but one could think so. Yes.
It's one reason.
Yes. I'm not convinced that this is the right course of action, but it doesn't really matter. Let's have a look at. We can fix that instead of. I know I did something like that to ensure the length of something. I can't really recall where it was. Spec help student spec. Where the fuck? Yeah, we use. I know where we use that. We use that in. I wrote that myself. We use that in the API challenge. We use a way of testing that in the API challenge. Let's just have a look at that. Just can't recall what it was. One touch, blah 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 blah. The core functionality not interesting. To equal. ATMs, that's not interesting. Funds, not interesting. Doing a withdrawal, not interesting. Let's have a look at the next one. We used I'm pretty sure we used that somewhere. Day to day. It rejects withdrawal. No. The pin code, yes. When we test the pin code, incorrect pin. No. Expect subject with the pin code. The next we check to make sure that the user passes the right pin code. But where do we generate the pin code? Where do we generate the pin code? Expired card, more checks. I am pretty sure that we check for the length of, let me just, GitHub.com, Craft Academy. We have not said like ATM solution. Is it that? So let's see, expected account. Pin length math. Here we go. Pin. Okay, so let me just grab this code and refactor this here. It's expected to have a 10-digit company number. Something like that. So the length should be hubba. What is subject in this case? So subject a factory girl create length of the subject and company code, company number. Number to ISO, and then we just want to make sure that this is 10, and then I'm just gonna do a binding try here. Hubba. Okay, let's have a look at this and see what's up. Because I'm using the math object here just to make sure that, and it starts to count the digits from 0, and that's why we add this +1. So then it should be 10. Yes. So subject is this, and it creates a company number, but that doesn't test anything, you know. That doesn't test anything. That just tests the length of it. This is bullshit. Math log 10. Subject company number 2i. It doesn't test the validation. So what we could do something like to validate. Okay, so we're just gonna do this. This is like a crud way to do this. Expect factory girl to not to be valid, and we're just gonna do number, and we're just gonna 2 like this, like 4. This should just to validate. Yeah, I don't know. So if we make this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, it should also, both of these should be invalid. I don't like this way of doing this at all. All right. So there is no reason to have this as an integer for us. So we will just have that as there is no reason for us to have this as an integer. We're gonna store this as a string, I would say.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right. There we go. Let's see. Okay, so let's run our Cucumber. And see where we at. I define membership applications path. Membership applications path. Membership application. What? Membership. What? Membership applications path. What the fuck are you talking about? Let's first of all let's do Rails routes. And where is membership applications path being used? No idea. Nowhere. So membership application. Oh, okay. So yes, that could be the problem because we are using a slightly different name on the paths rather than from the or from the resource. We call it memberships. And so I think I can do something like this, saying controller. What is the name of the controller? No, that's not it. What? Memberships. Membership applications controller. Is that what we should have called it? Membership application. Why am I getting this undefined, man? New HTML HAML 2. New. Oh. Okay, so here's the deal. Okay, so he doesn't know what to do. So how do we do that now? Can we do this URL? Memberships, or what is the name of that? New membership path. Membership. It's a post to memberships path. Yes, could that be it? Let's try it. Okay, so he feels a little confused because we are using a different name on the controller from the actual class name. And does that? Okay, that works. All right. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So let's go here to the text field. This is it. Let's see if this passes. Yes. So let's just copy this. And what is it we want to have? Oh, shoots. What is it? Company number. Company number. Oh, stupid. So company this. And the next one was contact person. There we go. And what else? Company email. And these labels can be changed later if you want, or if we decide to use something else. But for now, they can stay. What was the company phone number? And we had dum. That's it. And let's just see if it finds everything. And in the meantime, we go to this, what was it, Form 4 API. And we just have a look at the form helpers. Yes. And then we just do F submit. What was it? It was saying submit, right? So we run that again. And yada. What? Why can't you? So do I have to say value submit? No. I need to do submit. No, like this. Okay, let's see if this works. Yay, that worked. Okay, good. So here comes the thingy. We're just gonna go to the memberships controller and we're just gonna do a binding right here. Whoops. And we're getting close. So we're just gonna run this. Check out our params. Params are not permitted, so we're just gonna have to define a private method. Membership params and params require, what do we want to require? Membership application, and then we just want to do permit. What do we want to permit? Company name. Oops. Whoops. We want to permit company number. We want to permit person. We want to permit email. Phone number. And we want to permit nothing. That's it. Okay. So let's just quit this and run it again. So we hit that controller action again. And we're going to see what are these. And now they are permitted, which means that we can do create a membership application dot new membership params and membership equals, and then we just say if membership save, and we say flash 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 notice equals, what is it we want to say? We wanted to say something. What was it we want to say? Oh, it says right here. We want to say thank you. And we want to redirect to root path. If okay. So let's see what happens if we run this. Yes, we are not showing flashes on our.
Do the rest, or I would like to do the rest.
Once again?
Or it doesn't matter, but yeah.
No, I'm just gonna display the flashes. After that, I'm just gonna do the set path, and then you can take over.
Okay.
I think that yeah, let's go for that. So
Okay.
let's layouts, application, the partial button.
I'm going to bed though because.
Okay, sure. We can, you know.
It's 10. It's 1 hour past my bedtime.
Okay. I'm just gonna display the flashes somewhere, and I'm gonna call it a night as well. So you can take over tomorrow. So I'm gonna create a pull request, a VIP pull request, so you're gonna be able to push up to that. You know, so you know how that works, right? Good.
You can put the flashes just above the wrap, and it'll be pretty.
Good stuff. That's what I'm gonna do then. Good.
I think. Yes. Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
All right. All right.
Talk to you later.
All right. Talk to you, chap. So the flashes are basically going to be displayed. How do we display them? Yes, we display them something like this. To flash dot each to key value, and then yeah, do we need that? Well, key dot value, yeah, not sure. Let's just display value at the moment. I think so, because that, yeah. All right, never mind. Skip to content. Hey, okay. So git status and git CIAM first scenario and flash display to application layout, and that's about it. Well, adds create method and sanitizes params for membership application. All right, that should do it. Just gonna push origin new application, and the last thing I would like to do is to create a SAD path. Do we have like? I mean, we should definitely validate. Why are you complaining about? What are you complaining about? Should not be complaining about it. Oh, it complains about these things. Yes, I hate when they do this. See, I'm not sure. Is that a turbulence track? Reload. It's gonna work. So we're gonna get this red thing here. Yeah. Anyways, This is not my fault. It's been here before. We can probably refactor that. Okay, so do we have any validations on the model? So the membership application validates length of company number. So I would say that we would probably like to validate presence of some stuff. I think we want to validate presence of company name at this stage. The only thing that was kind of optional in the description, where is Pivotal Tracker? So yeah, so these four attributes should be validated. So let's do that. Back to the model and say it is expected to to validate presence of company name, and then we just want to is expected to validate presence of company name. We want to say presence of company number, presence of contact person, or anything else. Anything else? Or was it email was also supposed to be? Right? And as usual, our spec models. There we go. This should fail for us. Hopefully. Yes, and we just go up to the model itself, and we just do validates the presence of company name, company number, company mail, and what was it more? Contact person. Something like this. Let's run this again. All right. Oops. Oops. Oh, for God's sake. Company. Yes. Good. So that is working. It's and validations for non-optional attributes. Push this up. Okay. Meaning that somebody, preferably not me, could write some scenarios for doing other things than like trying to submit a member application that is faulty, meaning the sad path. So I'm just gonna do something like this here. do add sad math scenarios. All right. Before we push up, I'm just gonna run rake one last time, and we're gonna call it a night soon. The last thing I will talk you through is to actually create a pull request with this. We're gonna create a work in progress pull request. So we have that done. So git CI adds to do the feature and push this up, and now we can switch over to our browser and we can go here, and GitHub tells me that I recently pushed up the new application. I'm going to compare and create a pull request, and we are creating a pull request branch from my new application branch. All good. And the usual, what I usually do when I create a pull request is just grab the name and I mark this as VIP, work in progress, and give it the same name as we have in Pivotal Tracker. I copy the link to the Pivotal Tracker and I place it here, and then I use Markdown and I copy the user story in itself and place it here. And let's just preview this. I was hoping that this would actually create something in italic. No, you know what? I can do this instead. Don't need no drama. GitHub has actually a visual thingy for me. Oh, it's an underscore. Okay. So here we are. So create membership application class, and you can probably, you know, so adds memberships controller, adds view to create and submit an application. No need for screenshots. What else do we do? You know, the scenario is there, it's all good. Note, need to be updated with sad math scenarios before merge. And it's not ready for review, so we'll just make this bold. And yes, for ISIS gem Hamel with Hamel Rails. Anything else? Yeah, that's about it. Create pull request. There we go. Is there continuous integration set up? Yes, there is. The build is pending on Semaphore. Is there anything set up in terms of rake spec, rake Q count? Okay, so they don't have any test coverage metrics set up yet. I will probably propose that because it's much better in the long run. But so the interesting part is that Semaphore is a continuous integration service. It runs, it's multi-threaded, so they have split this up into 2 different jobs, which is cool. What we will probably do later on is to add test coverage metrics, because it's a good indicator, especially if you have many contributors on a project. So that's always good. What I've done now is to create a pull request where I marked it work in progress, meaning that other contributors to this project will see that this is not done yet, but they will probably be and that they can also contribute to this one. Like Susanna, she wants to make things pretty with CSS and HTML, so I just coded the core, the very core stuff. You haven't even seen me open this application up in the browser because I'm not interested. I write tests, the tests are passing, and that should be okay. It's a process, but it should all be good. And yeah, that's about it. That's the way I do it. If this suits you, you just copy or mimic this behavior or not. It doesn't really matter. But this way of working, I usually don't talk as much when I work, but this way of approaching development works for me. High-level acceptance tests until they no longer provide any good value to me. Then I just dive in and do some write some unit specs, implement some solutions, and once that works, go up to the acceptance test level and finish off a feature. And this is a very repetitive thing. This particular story was fairly simple. It's just one model, one action, and we just do that. There are other features, and there will be other features in this project that will be more complicated, but this one was pretty straightforward. So yeah, I also, just as a last thing, perhaps I want to go into this little feature of my in Pivotal Tracker and just cross-link to the pull request. Good stuff. I just got a notification on Slack because we have a notification channel that the build passed. Let's have a quick look on that. Everything is green, which is good. Again, they don't have any test coverage reporter set up yet, but I guess that will come in the future. So all good. Not much else to add at the moment. If you've enjoyed this, I will be around working on this project from time to time. And hopefully, I see you around in Agile Ventures. Live long and, live long and prosper.